Russia, go home now.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
So if we care about human health and well-being, we need to think about how our treatment of animals is contributing to the exact threats that are most problematic for the human species, like pandemics and climate change.
Saving animals, saving ourselves. Interview with Dr. Jeff Sebo, vegan, part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, clean conscience.
Tortura animal. Nunca más. Tortura animal. Nunca más.
Compasión.
Compasión. Compasión. Compasión. Compasión. Compasión. Compasión. Compasión.
Today's show will be presented in Spanish and English, with subtitles in Arabic, Olatsis, also known as Vietnamese, Chinese, English, French, German, Hindi, Indonesian, Korean, Mongolian, Persian, Russian, Spanish, Thai, and Ukrainian or Uranian.
Wow, a classy lady. Vegan, you said? Hey, should have guessed.
Espectadores bondadosos, mucho gusto. Soy Cortés. La nación espiritual de Cuba es conocida por su vibrante cultura, con una mezcla única de influencias africanas, españolas e indígenas en su música, arte y baile, que es popular no solo en Cuba, sino alrededor del mundo. Que la providencia ilumine su camino a un estilo de vida benevolente. Bienvenidos a la parte 1 de una serie de 2 partes titulada Salvar a los animales, salvarnos a nosotros mismos. Entrevista con el Dr. Jeff Sebo, vegano. El Dr. Jeff Sebo, vegano, es un filósofo, escritor y profesor asociado estadounidense. También es codirector del Programa de Bienestar de los Animales Silvestres de la Universidad de Nueva York y miembro del Comité Ejecutivo para la Protección Ambiental y Animal del Centro Universitario Nueva York, así como miembro de la Junta de Asesoría para la serie Animales en Contexto en la NYU Press. El Dr. Sebo obtuvo un doctorado en filosofía y realizó una beca postdoctoral en bioética en los Institutos Nacionales de Salud y Estudios Animales y de Estudios Ambientales de la Universidad de Nueva York. Su investigación cubre temas como filosofía moral y legal, personas, animales y ética en inteligencia artificial, salud global y ética climática, e investigación de prioridades globales. El Dr. Sebo es el autor de Salvar animales salvándonos a nosotros mismos. ¿Por qué los animales importan en pandemias, cambio climático y otras catástrofes? Su objetivo al escribir este libro fue aumentar la conciencia y entendimiento sobre las pandemias y los temas ambientales y por tanto tener un impacto importante en la forma en que tratamos a las personas animales. Explorando la compleja relación entre humanos y amigos animales, espera inspirar más enfoques compasivos y responsables para el bienestar de las personas animales y provocar en los lectores que reconsideren su relación con el mundo natural. Él espera que este libro fomente la acción sobre estos temas apremiantes. En el libro del Dr. Sebo, él muestra que el destino de los humanos y el de los no humanos están cada vez más vinculados. La explotación e interacción humana con las personas animales lleva a pandemias, cambio climático y otras amenazas que a su vez causan pérdida de biodiversidad, colapso del ecosistema y el sufrimiento de nuestros amigos animales. Escuchemos al Dr. Sebo explicar más sobre por qué escribió Salvar animales, salvarnos a nosotros mismos, por qué los animales importan en pandemias, cambio climático y otras catástrofes.
When our exploitation and extermination of animals contributes to a pandemic, that pandemic can then impact animals because animals can be susceptible to infectious diseases as well. For example, during COVID-19, humans killed a lot of animals because we saw them as pests, as carriers of diseases, or because we lacked the resources that we needed to take care of them. And we abandoned many animals, again, because we saw them as pests or because we lacked the resources to properly take care of them. And similarly, when climate change occurs, and it causes the ice caps to melt and the sea levels to rise and coastal areas to flood and an increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events like floods and fires and hurricanes. When it causes those problems, it will once again expose animals to those environmental disasters and expose animals to other threats like human violence and neglect. When these global disruptions occur, it causes us to become more selfish and more cautious, and so we help animals less and we harm them more. And so saving animals, saving ourselves is a story about how humans are harming and killing animals. Our violence against animals is contributing to pandemics and climate change, and then pandemics and climate change are harming and killing humans and other animals all over again. And so we need to think about the needs of humans and animals and global health and the environment consistently at the same time, holistically and structurally and comprehensively, if we want to both reduce these threats and respond to them appropriately.
Con respecto a por qué los humanos tienen una responsabilidad moral hacia las personas animales, el Dr. Sebo escribe en su libro: actualmente estamos dañando a muchos humanos y animales no humanos innecesariamente, y tenemos el deber de reducir y reparar estos daños. Y aunque será difícil reducir y reparar estos daños, hay muchos pasos que podemos tomar para abordar estos problemas que beneficiarán a humanos y no humanos por igual. Escuchemos ahora al Dr. Sebo explicar más sobre por qué reducir nuestro daño hacia las personas animales es importante para los mismos amigos animales y también para nosotros los humanos.
Humans have a responsibility to consider animals as part of global health and environmental policy for two reasons. One reason is self-interested. Our treatment of animals affects us too. So if we care about human health and well-being, we need to think about how our treatment of animals is contributing to the exact threats that are most problematic for the human species, like pandemics and climate change. But the other reason why we have a responsibility to include animals in health and environmental policy is that animals matter too. Non-human animals are sentient beings. They are capable of consciousness and emotionality and a sense of self and bonds of care and interdependence. They can think and they can feel and they can have relationships that matter to them. They have personalities and they have entire communities that matter to them. And these features make them matter for their own sakes. It gives them morally significant interests and needs and vulnerabilities. And humans have a responsibility to consider our impacts on everybody who matters and is impacted by our behavior.
Vegan, because we create our own luck.
Estimados espectadores, nos tomaremos un momento para admirar a las alegres personas ave que han visitado nuestro jardín y están compartiendo sus cautivadoras melodías. Por favor, sigan en sintonía de Supreme Master Television.
We pray for Ukraine, or you reign.
Bienvenidos de nuevo a nuestro programa Salvar a los animales, salvarnos a nosotros mismos. Entrevista con el Dr. Jeff Sebo, vegano, parte 1 de 2, en Supreme Master Television. El Dr. Sebo describe por qué la explotación practicada por la industria de la cría de ganado de las personas animales puede tener un gran impacto en el cambio climático.
When they contribute to deforestation, not only do they destroy habitats and cause biodiversity to go down, but they also destroy forested land, which is one of the best ways we have to capture and store carbon dioxide in the planet. Trees naturally store carbon dioxide, so when you cut down trees, you release stored carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and you also diminish the planet's ability to capture and store carbon dioxide in the future. So the more we farm animals for food, the more we are bringing into existence animals who emit greenhouse gases and farming them in ways that emit greenhouse gases, and the more we destroy forests, emitting greenhouse gases all over again.
El Dr. Sebo también resalta los efectos funestos del cambio climático sobre las personas animales y sus hábitats.
In 2020, we had the Australia bushfires that harmed and killed more than 3 billion vertebrates and an unknown number of invertebrates. That same year, we had the Amazon wildfires that were caused in part, reportedly, because of the need to clear land for beef and dairy agriculture. They killed an unknown number of wild animals. More recently, flooding and heat waves in the Pacific Northwest has killed hundreds of thousands of captive animals and billions of wild animals, including land and aquatic animals. And these are all tragic incidents, but are also illustrations of the type of tragedy that will become much more frequent and much more intense when human-caused climate change becomes worse. And so animals are connected to climate change both because factory farming and deforestation contribute to climate change while harming animals, and because climate change is going to keep killing animals.
¿El cambio climático ha llegado a un punto de no retorno? El último reporte del Panel Intergubernamental sobre el Cambio Climático, IPCC, un laureado al premio Shining World al liderazgo por héroes salvador de vidas, alerta que algunos cambios en el clima, como el aumento en el nivel del mar en los próximos cientos o miles de años, ya son irreversibles.
We have reached a tipping point. We have already caused the global climate to change, and it will take many, many years, decades, centuries, millennia in order to reverse what humans have already done. At the same time, the answer is also no, because there is always another tipping point that we have the power to prevent. So there is not one tipping point. There are instead many tipping points. And we might have already reached some of them, but we still have the power to not reach other even worse ones. Right? And so that is why we need to be thinking about climate change mitigation and adaptation at the same time.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Nigeria is one of them. Nigeria Criminal Code 1990, Section 495 outlines the prohibition of acts include kicking, overloading, infuriating or terrifying an animal individual, allowing them to be exposed to unnecessary suffering, or using them in animal-person fighting. Sanctions include a fine and/or imprisonment for up to 6 months. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more herding. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Gracias, Dr. Sebo, por compartir su libro y sus perspectivas sobre la defensa de los derechos y el bienestar de las personas animales. Para más información sobre el Dr. Jeff Sebo, vegano, y sus libros, por favor visite jeffsebo.net/media/.
Don't kill animals. You follow? Don't kill them to eat. Jiddu Krishnamurti, vegetarian.
Preciosos espectadores, gracias por su compañía de hoy. Por favor, acompáñenos la próxima semana, el sábado 5 de agosto, en Salvar a los animales, salvarnos a nosotros mismos. Entrevista con el Dr. Jeff Sebo, vegano, parte 2 de 2. A continuación sigue Comidas tradicionales suecas, parte 2 de 2. Köttbullar vegana, albóndigas veganas suecas, con salsa cremosa vegana dorada. En la gracia del cielo, que los gobiernos de todo el mundo unan sus manos para proteger el bienestar de todos los seres al promulgar leyes veganas inmediatamente. Precious viewers, thank you for your company today. Please join us next week on Saturday, August 5th, for Saving Animals, Saving Ourselves. Interview with Dr. Jeff Sebo, vegan, part 2 of 2. Coming up next is Traditional Swedish Meals, part 2 of 2. Vegan köttbullar, Swedish vegan meatballs with creamy vegan brown sauce. In heaven's grace, may governments around the world join hands to protect the welfare of all beings by immediately enacting vegan laws.
Russia, leave Ukraine or you reign now. Peace be with you too.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hail not rich.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/UL.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/UL.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/UL.
รายการของเรามีให้หลายภาษาโปรดดู suprememastertv.com/schedule และ suprememastertv.com/UL